And welcome to my Tech Expo project, the Shadow of Oblezk version 1.0. My name is FInnigan Reigns. I was the main developer. Gunnar Troncoso was the art, music, and my supervisor. And Tristan Jackson made the horror graphics and made the storyline for the game. So how do you play this game? So to beat TSO, you need to collect all the nuclear fuel, kill all of your enemies, and get every achievement. There are 2 Easter eggs hidden around the map. TSO is located in another universe where the days are short and nights are dangerous. Oblezk was a nuclear power corporation but did not live up to safety standards. They got sued so many times and were almost bankrupt. Then their power plant's core overheated and exploded. That was the end of the line and the corporation was shut down the same week. Nobody touched the plant for years until now. The government decided to clean the plant and sent you to do it. Little did you know that there were monsters in there more terrifying than the founders of Oblezk. So about this game, TSO started in August at the beginning of the school year as a dream shared by 3 people. A horror game based around a Minecraft build that Gunnar made. We began working on it. Tristan figured out what was going to happen. Gunnar created the art and the music, and I coded the game. It started good, but it eventually lost momentum, and we had more ideas and were dedicated to them. But one day, I ran out of ideas and decided to continue to working on TSO. It was extremely glitchy, and I decided to take a new approach and remaster the game. Soon I was done with alpha, then beta, and now. So much work. I am proud to bring you the Shadow of Oblezk. So, TSO is a very complicated game. It has a ton of costumes. It's still not fully done. There's still a lot more that I could do. A lot more I could clean up. And it uses over 3,500 blocks of the code. The blocks are basically these things. There's all sorts of different types. And almost all of this art, almost all of it was made by Gunnar. Mock Studios is a thing where it's basically just a group of people. Me, Gunnar, and Tristan. We code games like these all the time. This was just our best game of the year. Alright, so we've entered the building. We're inside. You start inside at the beginning of the day. We can head outside. It's morning out here. But for now, what we need is inside. So if we come through these doors, you open the doors by pressing E. You can walk around by pressing WASD. We can pick up our shovel and our flashlight. So our shovel, we'll use this to clean up all the nuclear fuel, and we'll use this to make sure that there's no enemies in our way. So if we come over here, so here's one of the entities. We'll deal with him later though. So as you can see, we can't open it. It says we need a key card. So let me show you how to get the key card now. If we come back over into the main entrance, and we come up into this storage room, here's our key card. Now something about this is that you're not allowed to open the door until you actually pull the key card out of your inventory. Same thing with the fuel, you can't just pick it up with your flashlight, you have to actually pull out your shovel. So that was an infected. They're basically, They used to be workers that works in the plants until the explosion. Then they got mutated, and now they just roam the power plant searching for victims. Pick up our flash bomb. We'll need that for later. Alright, so the stalker is on the move. Here's our stalker. So for this guy, you're gonna pull out your flash bomb. Make sure you stay away from him because he moves fast, and if he starts moving in your direction, because his AI is randomly coded, if he moves in your direction, then you're gonna die. And do not pull out your flashlight because they hate the light. They will immediately get mad at you and start to attack you. So just keep a safe distance away from them, pull out your flash bomb, and press the F button. As you can see, our stalker is now dead, and we are safe to pick up the fuel. So let me turn on these lights. Oh. So, there's 3 stalkers in total. So, actually, there's a door over here. As you can see, we can't open it because we don't have enough fuel. We need 12 nuclear fuel to be able to gain access to it. So, where do we get the nuclear fuel? Well, the stalkers have it, and then when we kill them, we pick it up. So, as you can see, I'm not allowed into this room. These are basically storage sheds, and the stalkers live in them. It says my face isn't recognized. So, if we press C, we can come into our skins. Now, these 3 skins, you have to get special achievements to unlock them. The stalker skin, you get by, well, killing a stalker. Once you put on the stalker skin, the stalkers can't kill you. They'll still get mad at you, but they can't kill you. So, what you have to do is you just pull out your flash bomb, and then there they go. And the last flash bomb's right up there. So the reason there isn't a stalker in here is because this was the shed that the stalker lived. So this shed was, so the stalker that I killed basically lived in this shed, and then he left. Oh, it's nighttime now. So we'll pull out the flashlight. See, I made him mad. But he still can't kill you. See, he can't kill you. He'll just get mad at you. And just pull out our flash bomb. And then that's it. That's all the stalkers dead. We have all 12 nuclear fuel. So if you're like me, you're probably pretty bad at this game and you got badly damaged. So if we pull out our full heal, then we press Q. And we wait 8 seconds, we'll eventually be fully healed. Alright, let's get going. Now this part's pretty interesting. So, high radiation suit required. The radiation in here is extremely high, so you need to be wearing one of these high quality suits. Otherwise, you will take radiation damage. Hold up. Before we fight him, I'm gonna go find a secret. There's a secret out here. If we come over to here, right in between here, we can get a special weapon, which will help us deal more damage to the boss. here's our boss. Make sure you press space and don't click, because space is how you attack. So he has 2 attacks. He can give you knockback, or he can give you radiation damage. Radiation takes away only like 1 health bar because you're wearing the suit, and the knockback attack deals like 2 damage. He has quite a bit of health. And that's it. And that's the entire game. So, I hope you enjoyed the game. You can log off if you want now, but if you can stay, I would like to give you a briefing on how the code in this game works. So, here we have our player. So, how this works is what we do is we have a miniature player. This player will the player basically, you can't see him, and then he walks around this small version of the map, and then he'll basically just walk around. So basically, that's the guy you're controlling. This is the guy who you're controlling. You're not controlling this guy. You're controlling this guy. And then this guy is controlling this guy. And then we have the same thing for our enemies. They have different AI sometimes. Some of them. And this is our sight range. So this is always going to our player, and the player basically, if the enemies end up touching this thing, then they'll be able to see the player. So how we get the background and stuff to scroll is we take a miniature version of it. We take a super duper small dot, and then let me figure out how to show you this. Alright, let's see if this will work. Where is it? Where'd it go? I lost it. Alright, this will work. It's not the same thing, but it'll work. So what we're gonna do is we're setting our size to just 100, just our basic size. And there's our map. Here's our map. This is what it looks like. And when we start the game, we're going to show it. We're going to switch our costume to this tiny guy. Where is it? Hold up, I'm having trouble. I'm having some trouble. Oh, there's our problem. We need to make this guy centered on the screen. Where'd it go? My gosh. I'm having some trouble. Here we are. Alright. Okay, now I can finally show you. So we switch our costume to this tiny costume. We set our size to our map size, which is 1000. Because if we switch our costume to this, our maximum size for that costume is only 124. We can't switch our size to 1000. So what we do is we have to switch this tiny costume, which we can size up to 1000, and then we switch our costume to our map. As you can see, we can move it around. Get every single bit of the map. You can see every part of it. Yeah, it's pretty cool how it works. And then what it does is when we start out, we set our X and Y to 0. And then we go to X subtracted by our scroll X. And our Y subtracted by our scroll Y. So if we go to this, we're in this room where we fought the smiling mass. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting game. How the code works. The flashlight is pretty simple. It's all just costumes mostly. And then the way our player works is once our player moves around, then it creates a clone of this guy. This guy receives all of his data from this guy, switches his costume to everything, to all of our skin combinations. He sets our X to the X of the mini player, times our size divided by 100. I don't really know why the math is so complicated. Let me find out why the math is complicated. I actually really forgot. Maybe. Huh. This is weird. I have no idea. I have no idea why I did this, actually. All I know is that it has a purpose. I know it has a purpose. I just don't know what the purpose is. So then we go to our X minus scroll X. This is what makes everything scroll around all nice. And if our game is paused, then we do all of this. Then we're going to wait 0 seconds and delete this clone. Why do we wait 0 seconds? Well, if we did this, then our player would just immediately delete itself. It would run through all of this and be like, okay, I'm done. But this block, while it does say to wait 0 seconds, that's just enough time to give the screen time to refresh. Because what it does is it does all this in one tick. It does everything here in one tick without this block. But with this block here, it does it in a fraction of a tick. Shovel's pretty easy. And pretty much that's all the code. It's all pretty much the same except for our screens and our inventory. Here's the skin screen. Got all the costumes and stuff. Not the most complicated code I've ever made. Inventory, still pretty easy. I did do a little bit of a list though. Some list action. Turbo mode detector. So what is turbo mode? Well, basically, if you press the green flag, then it's just normal. But if you hold shift and then press the green flag, then it's just like, yeah, no. See how it's going extremely fast? Well, this basically detects that, and then it basically just detects that speed up, and then, yeah. Objectives, just very disorganized code. Outside, inside, pretty much just costumes. The bullet. Actually, this is pretty good. There's some pretty decent code there. The doors, these are pretty interesting. They're pretty big. Cutscene. This is mostly just costumes and sounds, but it's pretty good. Title screen, basic. Well, I think that's it. There's nothing really new that you haven't already seen. Well, that's it. If you stayed, then I hope you enjoyed looking at this. It's probably not the most enjoyable thing for you, but thank you. Thanks for viewing my project.